The Nanodose Podcast.
The Nanodose Podcast.
The Nanodose Podcast.
The Nanodose Podcast.
The Nanodose
Podcast.
The Nanodose Podcast.
The
The Nanodose
Nanodose
Podcast.
Podcast.
The Nanodose.
You've been Nanodose. Welcome to another episode of the Nanodose Podcast. This is the podcast where real life and real conversations meet intentional living. Nanodoses, I am your host, Shiva, and I'm always thrilled, always excited, always ready to go and to join you in another episode. Listen to me, friends, we are largely international. Just in case you thought we're a small baby podcast, yes, we're a growing one, but we're very much international. In fact, the Nanodose podcast is in over 26 countries, including Germany, including Mexico, including Japan, hello, including Brazil, including Vietnam, including Colombia, including Poland, including Bolivia, including Saudi Arabia, and I could go on and on and on. Listen, we are a big deal over here, and because we are expanding, we want you to join the family. We want you to expand with us, and we want you to click that subscription. Do you know that subscription button that you're currently seeing on your screen, or that follow button, or the bell, so that when we drop an episode, you can know that we've dropped an episode? Yes, we want you to engage in our posts. We want you to comment wherever, on YouTube, on Spotify, and Apple. We want you to rate the podcast. We need your engagement. It is so important because we are expanding and we want other people to find us and to get the message that there is a platform that helps us to navigate our adult years, that helps us to find purpose, that helps us to live intentionally, that helps us to grow, to become better people. There's a podcast out there, and that is the Nanodose Podcast. And so your engagement is very, very, very critical for me and, of course, at large, the Nanodose family. So thank you for tuning in to this another episode. All right. So with all that being said, we're taking on a different approach to the Nanodose podcast today. Usually we would tackle a subject and we'll state some facts. We will see how it aligns to us here in Jamaica. And, we would give some reasons as to why this is for us or not. Today, however, we're going to be discussing a topic that by now you can see on your screen. Yes, it is rejection to redirection. And for this episode, guys, I want you to ponder. I want you to reflect. I want you to follow what I'm saying and just see where you are when it comes on to rejection, and see how well you have internalized that rejection to redirection. Because you see, rejection, it hits different when you start to see through a biblical lens. It now isn't just about people, persons, institutions. Yes, the institution that rejected your visa, the institution that rejected your student application, the institution that rejected your loan application, your credit card application. The persons who hurt you, the man who rejected you, the woman who rejected you, the mother who rejected you, the father who rejected you. It's not just about people, but it's about purpose, It's about identity and alignment with God. I remember when I was just a little girl. I was about 14, 15 years old. And there was this guy. He visited my church every once in a while. Yes, I'm a church girl. Born and grew and raised and still is in the church. But I remember I had a big crush on him. So whenever he visited my church, I would go around him. I would talk with him. I'd try to make jokes. I'd play with him if I could. And I'd try to engage in conversation as much as I could throughout the day. But one Sabbath, many kids were at church. Children from my school, from the community, and fortunately or unfortunately, everybody knew each other. And I don't know how comes, but we all knew each other. And for those persons who did not know each other, we started to get to know each other. Yeah, that Sabbath, I tried to have a conversation with him, but I realized he wasn't engaged enough. I realized he wasn't having that curious spirit that you usually have with me. It was not until his friend came to me that I understood the bigger picture. And that was, according to his friend, he doesn't like me. He likes somebody else. And then he told me the name of the girl that he liked. And of course, she was at church that Sabbath. How did I feel? Rejected? You may ask. Yeah, I did. I felt so rejected, but I was strong. I've been a soldier. I didn't cry. I didn't wail. I didn't ponder. I just moved right on. There are many other fishes in the sea. That was my outlook. Okay, well, but I did feel rejected. And I did feel like I wasn't pretty enough. And I did feel as if I wasn't light skinned enough. And I did feel as if my hair wasn't long enough. And I started to question my value, my worth, based on how he valued me. So yes, rejection hurt. And it will hurt even when you're strong. It will hurt even when you have faith. Rejection will hurt even when you know better. But you know what the difference is? You don't interpret it the same way anymore. No. Because rejection doesn't cancel you. It often confirms God's direction. Sometimes we think, if it didn't work out, maybe it wasn't meant for me. I'm sure you have thought of that. I have. And yes, that's true. But deeper than that, rejection is often God's way of redirecting you away from what He didn't assign for your life. Not everything you desire is designed for you. And so, not every door that closes is a loss. Sometimes, my friends, it is God's protection. What door have recently closed in your life that you think it's a loss? Think about it. Remember, it is God's protection for you. Friends, Nanadosas, even in the Bible, chosen people were rejected. Think about that. Joseph was rejected by his own brothers. David was overlooked before being chosen as a king. Even Jesus himself was rejected by the very people he came to save. How about that? What does that tell you, my friends? It simply tells you that rejection is not a sign that you're off track. Sometimes it is a sign that you are set apart. God will always use rejection to build you. Remember, before elevation, there is preparation. Before purpose is revealed, identity is tested. Rejection has a way of humbling you, strengthening you, and forcing you to depend on God instead of people. Because if everyone accepted you easily, you may never build the depth and the courage you need to withstand the evil in this world. Think about that. What if every institution accepted you? What if every guy you liked you back? What if every institution accepted your loan application? What if you never knew what rejection felt like? How would you be the person that you are today? How? Rejection is needed to build you. Remember, sometimes people will always reject what they don't understand. Because not everyone will see your value, not everyone will see your calling, and definitely not everyone will see the timing of what you have to do. And that's okay, because people respond based on their level of awareness. They respond based on their capacity, how well they know you, and also they respond based on their own limitations. So just because someone didn't choose you doesn't mean that God didn't choose you. So stop seeking validation from people. Seek alignment with God. This is where the maturity comes in. And so instead of asking, oh, why didn't they choose me? Stop thinking that, by the way. Shift to, God, is this even for me? Because being chosen by people means nothing if it does not align with my purpose. Rejection can also be God removing what you would have settled for. How many times would we have settled for that relationship that did not suit us? How many times did we settle for that house or that apartment that we know we have to move from because God has better plans for you? How many times did we have to settle for that one clothing, garment, that one shoes that start big bread? That's what we say in Jamaica when you have the mouth of the shoes being lifted from the actual shoe. The shoe a big bread. Yeah, how many times do we have to settle? For sometimes we hold on to these things because it's what we know, and it is what feels good, and it is what looks right. And we don't want to start over. But God sees the full picture, and He sees that 5 years from now, you're going to be stuck if you don't move now. And He knows that it will drain you. It will drain your spirits. The relationship will drain your spirit. The friendship will drain your spirit. He knows what will distract you. He knows what will delay you, so He removes it, even when you don't understand it. Now, Nadosa's, today I want you to remember that your identity is not who accepts you. If you build your identity on who likes you and who chooses you, who validates you, rejection will always shake you. But when your identity is rooted in God, rejection might hurt. Can we say that again? Rejection might hurt, but it won't break you, because you know I am already chosen. So rejection isn't always spiritual warfare. No, sometimes rejection is spiritual alignment. God closing doors that does not match your assignment. Because sometimes rejection isn't the end. It is God saying, this just isn't where you long. So today, right now, wherever you are, let's take this a little deeper. Remember in the beginning when I asked you to think of a time when you were rejected? I want you to go back to that situation. What might God have been protecting you from? Think about that. It's your story, you know it, and you know exactly that moment that rejection still translates to insecurity. Because the guy rejected you years ago, you now devalue your worth to other guys because your hair is not as long and you have a shorter hair. You compare yourselves to all the long hair women, and again, you devalue yourself. So do you remember at the beginning when I asked you about the rejection you experienced? I want you to think about it. Yeah, let's go back there. For me, it was the guy I told you about that rejected me when I was just a child. But remember, I'm in my 30s. I have so many other stories of rejection. But for you, what did you learn from your situation? What did I learn from my situation? I learned exactly what I just said. My identity is not rattled up in you and how you perceive me. My identity is in Christ. And so if you reject me, that does not belittle who I am. It doesn't change who I am. And your view on me has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. That's what it taught me. What might God have been protecting you from in your story? You know your story. What have God been protecting you from in your story, in that thought, that memory? For me, looking back, maybe he was protecting me from a heartbreak in the long run. Maybe he was protecting me from a bad relationship that could have been. Maybe he was protecting me from distraction. I don't know, but I certainly do see it as God's protection. How can you trust God more in this area moving forward? That's a question for you. How? And trust is hard. I know trusting is hard. To completely stop worrying, stop thinking, stop fretting about whatever situation it is and leaving it into the hands of the Lord is hard. We are carnal beings. It is not natural for us to trust God. But how can you trust God more in this area of your life moving forward? Well, for me, I'm now married, happily married, might I add. And so for me, it's just to keep trusting Him that He will keep my marriage happy. It's really that simple. I no longer require another partner because I have my own. I no longer require someone's validation because I know who validates me and I know who sees me as I am. So it is not a requirement from no one else. Non-adults, remember, rejection will either make you question your worth or push you closer to your purpose. And when you truly, truly understand who you are in God, you stop chasing what rejects you and start walking toward what's really and already assigned for you. Because what God has for you won't require you to beg. It won't require you to chase or prove your value. It will meet you in alignment, in peace, and in purpose. This was a wonderful nanodose for you. I hope you will reflect on it throughout the week. You don't have to listen to this episode once. If you listen to it once and you didn't really get to the maximum capacity, everything I'm saying here, listen to it again to really grasp what I'm saying. But when you listen to it, again, internalize it. Because remember, rejection does not shape you. No, it aligns you. It redirects you. Yes. And so this is, once again, your weekly nugget on the None of Those podcast. It's always such an honor to have you join me here on another episode. And tune in next week. A wonderful guest is coming on, and he's gonna talk up the things them. He's gonna really enlighten you on the M word, money. Yes. On your finances, and just give us some good nuggets, I'm sure, of how you can better manage your money and become financially free. So tune in to that episode next week. And moving forward, we're gonna be having some guests coming on to the podcast. So I'm really excited for that. And it's just gonna be a great time. So guys, enough of me rambling as always. Love you so much. Appreciate all the support that you've already given the Nando's podcast, and continue to give all the support to the Nando's podcast. My lovely listeners, my friends, family, you have been Nanadosed.